thought this was the kind of place that nobody ever had to lock their doors.
So it is in normal times. But these are hardly normal times, are they?
Did you right there?
There was a man here.
What kind of a man?
Well, I think it's the one the lassie's been dreading.
Well, I suppose he had to find her sooner or later.
Oh, well, now he's turned up. The car's among the corn.
I'd better get down there.
But is there anything I can do?
Eh? Aye. If you see him again, fell him with a stew pot.
Oh, I'll do that. Blithely.
Is the other fun woman all right?
Oh, it's right, Samuel.
The man didn't see her, did he?
Oh, could he? She hardly ever gets out of bed. She's up there now. 4 eggs for her breakfast. And enough toast for a dozen farm labourers.
Oh, well, I'd better be on my way. Time's short, and getting shorter.
Want me to take watch for a while?
Not yet.
You know where I'd like to be this very minute? I'd like to be in a wee tally shop in Longmere Street with a big bowl of scalding hot peas and brie. Who would you like to be, old Bill?
I'd like to be one of those hot peas, swimming about in the scald brie.
You think they'll come today?
Dougal says he'll come. Dougal's aye right.
You nervous?
Of course not. Why?
You've checked that weapon 5 times in the last 20 minutes.
Well, we all have our own ways of gearing up for action.
Like wee Jakey greeting.
Yes.
Is your heat hurting?
Yes, a bit.
Like my Uncle Sandy's on a Sunday morning.
For different reasons. You know, it's a pity the weather's improved.
Not much chance of keeping the enemy from landing now.
Sounds as though our prisoners are trying to get loose.
Sounds as though some of them have got loose. I'm going to complain to Mr. McCunn about this orange.
What's wrong with it?
It's rotten.
A barley, a barley.
What does that mean?
Wants to talk to us under a flag of truce. Say your piece, Dobson.
I'm not talking to wee laddies.
You're right.
You're talking to the Gorbals diehards.
I'll talk to that fella Heritage.
That fella Heritage isn't listening.
It's me or nobody.
I've set Leon and Spittle free.
Good for you.
And we've rounded up the rest of your so-called Gorbals diehards.
You have you?
Aye.
And what are you going to do with them?
Well, I'm a humane man. I on the lookout to avoid bloodshed. My suggestion is this, that you and Heritage march away from here at once. And exactly an hour later, I'll turn the rest of the laddies loose. What's your answer?
This. Do you think I come up the Clyde in a banana skin?
When I get out of you, I'm going to deal with you personally.
Heritage. Sees another one of they bad oranges.
Where did you learn to throw like that?
Just practice. Throwing at tin cans, empty bottles and things.
Wasn't true what he said about the diehards. You don't think...
Napoleon and Old Bill. Thomas Shawnee and Peter Patterson.
Dougal, you're a genius.
I know, but I still can't whistle loud enough for wee Jakey to hear me where he is.
Oh, sakes alive, laddie. You're looking dead worn out. You're surely not thinking of going back out into that wind and wet.
I've lost Mr. McGunn someplace.
He's old enough to be your grandfather. Old enough and ugly enough to look after himself.
That's just the point, Mrs. Moran, isn't it?
No, laddie. See, come into the fire and warm yourself.
Dinna tempt me, woman.
You come back to the land of the living, eh?
Much will you take to let me go?
How much do you think you're worth?
I'll give you a £5 note apiece.
You don't rate yourself very highly, my money.
Where are you going to get the money?
Well, it's in my pocket.
It was in your pocket.
And it was a bit less than £10.
Will you take a cheque?
The brig's going to drop anchor within the half hour. Dobson says we have to get down there to meet the boats.
What about him? The old fella?
We'll have time for him later, come on.
Thomas, you're a sight for sore eyes. I'm as stiff as an old cuddy.
I lost you, Mr. McCunn. I lost you, Mr. McCunn. I lost you, Mr. McCunn.
There's no harm done, J.K.
But Dougal.
Oh, what Dougal doesn't know, he won't grieve over. Will he, Thomas Yowney? Now, off you go, the pair of you, and tell Dougal and Mr. Heritage that the boat is arriving in half an hour, and that help is on its way. Here, give me a hand up. Wait.
I say, you chaps, this is just like old times, what?
Good heavens. What the...
It's all right. These are my friends. Make it 32. I made it 25.
Здравствуй, господин. Здравствуй, Здравствуй, здравствуй.
29.
I made it 25. I think it's time we were out of here.
Right, here's what we're gonna do.
are these, Dougal? Beats me.
They're cricket balls.
What's cricket? It's a kind of game.
It's a kind of deadly game.
Keep them handy. It's a kind of deadly game we're playing ourselves. What have you got, Napoleon? What's that snooker bus? Find him in the billiard room. Grand, but remember the rules. You can't throw a coloured dot on everybody unless you throw a red first. Suppose there's a golf ball in the cupboard. Only golf clubs as well. Bring them.
Quentin Kennedy seems to have been quite a sportsman.
Toffs had nothing else to do with their time. Bulls.
I beg your pardon?
Bulls. Jories, classes, ladies, big trolleys. The catapults is loaded for life. Eh, Peter? Aye.
Did you realise we're facing at least 30 men?
Aye.
Well, we haven't even got enough to make up a cricket 11.
That depends on what Mr. McCunn's been able to do.
Done yet.
You're a game little rooster. I'll give you that.
Game enough for you. Scooting her round the countryside on a motorbike, frightening an old woman.
Do you think you're fit enough to ride behind me on the pillion?
If you think I'm going willingly to an unknown fate...
Stop being a hero and listen for a moment. We're going back to that old lady you mentioned.
What for?
To apologize.
To apologize?
Come on. Come on.
Is McCunn there?
He's a what he fetched the army and the navy.
He's nothing of the sort. At this very minute, he's tied tight to a tree in the Garple Wood.
If you ken where he is, why'd you ask?
To find out to what extent you're bluffing.
There's nobody bluffing up here.
Is there anybody up there want sense?
Ask Dobson or Spittle or Leon.
I didn't come here to bandy words with a bunch of Glasgow Keeleys.
Why did you come here, Loudon?
Sorry about your head, Mr. Heritage.
I'm sorry about your arm, Mr. Loudon.
Mr. Heritage, there's no necessity for all this. You can find what we're after.
Only too well.
And you can find, too, that justice and law are on our side.
That, I must confess, comes as a great surprise to me.
You're protecting a lassie that's a thief. A lassie that levanted with a fortune in jewels.
Then why didn't you come with the police instead of a bunch of cutthroats?
These cutthroats, as you term them, are our own countrymen. The lassie's a traitor as well. And they wish to deal with her in their own land according to their own laws.
In the eyes of most countries in the world, they are still cutthroats.
I'd hoped we could have arranged things amicably.
I'm afraid not.
You're downright irresponsible, Heritage.
And you, Loudon, a downright criminal.
Right, men. We're in for it now. Napoleon, lock the front door. Peter Parson, no Bill. Barrow the windies.
No, no, nephew, I don't like the company you keep.
But it's all right, I guarantee.
What's that lout that I'm doing with you?
I brought him to apologize.
What is going on here?
Ah, the whole world's gone topsy-turvy.
What sense have we got out of you from the look of you? And who are you when you're at home?
When I am at home, madame, I am Prince Alexis Nikolaevich Sokolov.
Right, chaps. I'm afraid there's nothing for it but brute force. Right, all together now. 1, 2, 3, heave! Try again. 1, 2, 3, heave!
My dear lady, how can I possibly prove I am who I say I am?
But the trouble would seem to be that you look far too much like a prince to really be one. I mean, who ever heard of a prince with an Australian accent?
I've explained all that. After the revolution, I went to Australia.
We want our heads examined, you and me.
Of course.
Where's she gone?
Oh, she'll be back in a minute.
You Scots are hard to convince of anything.
Oh, well, I'm a businessman. You find an awful lot of fly men in business, especially in Glasgow.
Alexis.
If you keep bringing royalty here, I'm going to get a coat of arms and hang it over the front door.
Right, put your shoulders into it. A big one this time. Come on. 1, 2, 3, heave! And again. 1, 2, 3, heave! All right. Take a rest, chaps.
You all right, Ben?
Yes, thank you. Got to be kind to those poor people at Huntingtower.
Yeah. This is where we got in last time. What do you intend to do?
Something that should have been done some time ago.
Are you ready? Yes. Of course I'm ready. Well, try 'em now.